Let's start with a scene that plays out millions of times every single day across New York, London, and Sydney. A young professional wakes up at 6 a.m., skips breakfast, fights traffic for an hour, sits through an 8-hour workday filled with meaningless meetings, comes home exhausted, orders takeout, watches 2 hours of Netflix, and falls asleep, only to do it all over again the next day. And somewhere in between, they post a story on Instagram with a caption like, "The grind never stops," or "Hustle in silence, let success make the noise." They feel proud of their effort. They feel like they deserve a reward just for showing up. But here is the brutal truth that no one will tell you. The world does not care about your effort. It does not care that you woke up early, that you worked late, that you sacrificed your weekends, that you cried in the bathroom, that you gave up your social life, or that you are exhausted beyond measure. The world only cares about one thing: what you actually produce. Your struggle is invisible. Your intentions are irrelevant. Your pain is not currency. The only thing that counts is the result you deliver. This is not cynicism. This is reality. Every successful person eventually learns this lesson, usually the hard way. The sooner you accept it, the sooner you stop looking for validation and start focusing on outcomes. Because until you produce something valuable, you are just another person with a story that no one asked to hear. Now, let's examine the psychology behind why we crave recognition for our effort. It is rooted in a cognitive bias called the effort heuristic, our natural tendency to overvalue things that require a lot of work. We assume that if someone worked hard on something, it must be good. We apply this same bias to ourselves. We think, "I worked so hard, I deserve success," or "I tried my best, that should count for something." But the market, whether it is the job market, the business market, or the dating market, does not operate on this heuristic. The market operates on value. A customer does not care how many sleepless nights you had building your product. They care whether the product solves their problem. An employer does not care how many applications you sent out. They care whether you can do the job better than the other candidates. A partner does not care how much you sacrificed in your past relationships. They care whether you can show up in a healthy way today. Your struggle is a story you tell yourself to feel better about your lack of results. It is a coping mechanism. And as long as you cling to it, you will stay trapped in a cycle of effort without reward. The most successful people do not waste energy explaining how hard they worked. They let the results speak for themselves. And if the results are not there yet, they do not complain. They go back to work and figure out how to make them appear. Let's bring this to life with a story, one you have never heard before. Meet Emily from Chicago. At 29, Emily was a graphic designer who poured her heart and soul into every project. She would stay late, redo designs multiple times, and obsess over every pixel. She genuinely believed that her dedication would eventually be recognized and rewarded. Her colleagues often praised her work ethic, calling her the hardest worker on the team. But when promotion season came, Emily was passed over for someone who had joined the team just 2 years earlier, someone who produced less work but knew how to present it in a way that impressed the higher-ups. Emily was devastated. She felt betrayed, undervalued, and angry. She complained to her manager, who said something that shattered her worldview. "Emily, we all know you work hard, but hard work is not the same as high-value work. You spend hours perfecting things that do not matter to the client. Your colleague spends less time but focuses on what actually drives revenue. You need to stop working hard and start working smart." That feedback was harsh, but it was the turning point Emily needed. She stopped obsessing over effort
and started obsessing over outcomes. She learned to identify what the client truly valued, cut out the fluff, and deliver results that had a measurable impact. Within 18 months, she was promoted twice and eventually started her own successful design agency. Her hard work had not changed, but her focus had. She stopped telling the world how hard she was trying and started showing them what she could actually do. And that made all the difference.
Here is another dark truth. Your struggle is not unique. Everyone has a story of hardship, sacrifice, and sleepless nights. Everyone has experienced rejection, failure, and disappointment. Everyone has felt like giving up. Your specific story may feel deeply personal to you, but in the grand scheme of things, it is one of billions of similar stories. The world is not going to hand you a trophy because you suffered. Suffering is not a virtue. It is a byproduct of the gap between where you are and where you want to be. And that gap exists for everyone who dares to aim high. The question is not whether you have suffered. The question is whether your suffering has produced anything of value. Think about the greatest athletes, entrepreneurs, and artists in history. They all endured massive struggles, but we do not remember them for their struggles. We remember them for their achievements. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. He did not become a legend because he was cut. He became a legend because he used that rejection to fuel a work ethic that produced championship after championship. Oprah Winfrey faced poverty and abuse. She is not famous for her trauma. She's famous for building a media empire that changed the world. The struggle is the soil, but the result is the fruit. And nobody buys the soil, they buy the fruit. If you want to be valued, you must produce something that others want. That is the only metric that matters.
Now, let's talk about the dangerous trap of virtuous suffering. The belief that because you are working hard, you are morally superior to those who are not. This is a mindset that keeps many people stuck in jobs they hate, relationships that drain them, and habits that hold them back. They convince themselves that their sacrifice will eventually be rewarded by the universe, that some cosmic justice will eventually recognize their effort and give them what they deserve. But the universe is not keeping score. There is no cosmic accountant tracking your hours of struggle. The only scoreboard is the real world. What have you built? What have you contributed? And what impact have you made? If you spend years grinding away at something that does not create value, you are not a martyr, you are just someone who wasted their time. And the worst part is, you'll feel bitter and resentful when others who did less work get ahead. That bitterness will poison your motivation and make you even less productive. It's a self-destructive loop. The way out is radical honesty. Ask yourself, is what I'm doing right now actually moving the needle? If the answer is no, then stop congratulating yourself on your effort and start changing your approach. Effort without impact is just noise, and the world has enough noise already. Let's bring in a psychological concept called the sunk cost fallacy. This is the tendency to continue investing in something simply because you have already put so much time, money, or effort into it, even when it is clearly not working. You see this in failing businesses, toxic relationships, and dead-end careers. People stay because they think, I have already given so much, I cannot quit now. But this is a trap. The past is gone. Those hours, tears, and sacrifices cannot be recovered. The only thing that matters is the future. If the current path is not producing the results you want, staying on it will not suddenly make it better just because you have suffered longer. In fact, it will only delay your chance to pivot towards something that actually works. The most successful people are not the ones who never quit. They're the ones who quit the right things at the right time and double down on what is working. So ask yourself honestly, are you clinging to something just because you have invested so much into it? Is your pride preventing you from admitting that your current strategy is failing?
If so, let go of your ego. Let go of the narrative that your struggle makes you admirable. Focus on what actually works, even if it means starting over from zero. Starting over is not failure. Starting over is wisdom. Now consider the world of business. No investor gives money to a founder because they have a sad story about how many sleepless nights they had. Investors give money because the business has a viable model, traction, and potential for growth. No consumer buys a product because the founder worked tirelessly. They buy it because it improves their life. The market is ruthlessly indifferent to your emotional state. And yet, so many aspiring entrepreneurs waste years perfecting their why story, their personal brand narrative, their inspirational origin tale, without ever building a product that anyone actually needs. They confuse storytelling with value creation. But here is the hard truth. Your story only matters after you have created something remarkable. Steve Jobs had a compelling story, but Apple was already changing the world before people cared about his biography. Elon Musk's childhood is interesting, but what made him influential is Tesla and SpaceX. Your struggle is not the product. Your struggle is the fuel that should drive you to create a product. If you reverse that priority, you become a storyteller with nothing to tell, and the world is already full of those. Let me give you another example, this time from the UK. Meet David from Birmingham. At 34, David was a school teacher who dreamed of becoming a writer. For 7 years, he wrote in his spare time, early mornings, late nights, every holiday. He completed 4 full manuscripts. He sent them to dozens of publishers. He received over 50 rejection letters. He posted about his journey on Twitter and built a small following who cheered him on, calling him inspirational, resilient, a true artist. His friends admired his dedication. His family told him how proud they were of his persistence, and David felt validated. Until one day, a literary agent sent him a rejection email that cut through all the comfort. She wrote, "David, your writing is not bad, but it is not remarkable either. You have been writing for 7 years, but you have not improved significantly because you keep writing the same kind of story in the same way. You mistake repetition for growth. You need to stop congratulating yourself for trying and start learning how to write something that actually excites readers." That email was brutal, but David realized she was right. He had become addicted to the identity of the struggling writer because it gave him a sense of purpose and a community that admired his effort. But effort without evolution is just noise. David stopped writing for a month. He read 25 best-selling novels, took online courses on storytelling, and hired a professional editor to critique his work brutally. He rewrote his manuscript from scratch, not based on what was easy to write, but based on what would captivate a reader. 2 years later, he published his first novel, and it became a regional bestseller. His struggle was no longer the story, his novel was, and that made all the difference.
Now, let's address the emotional side of this truth. It hurts to realize that your suffering does not earn you credit. It feels unfair. You may be thinking, but I did everything right. Why is no one appreciating my effort? That feeling is valid, but it is also irrelevant. The world is not designed to be fair. It is designed to reward value, and value is not the same as effort. A farmer who plants seeds and waters them every day is putting in effort, but if the soil is bad, there will be no harvest. A student who studies 12 hours a day but uses outdated study methods will not score well. A worker who stays late every night but does not solve critical problems will not be promoted. Effort is the price of entry. It is not the reward. The reward comes when you produce something that others find useful, beautiful, or valuable. And if you are not producing that, you need to change your approach, not double down on your effort. This is a hard pill to swallow, but it is also empowering because it means you have control. You are not a victim of an unfair world. You are a creator who can adjust,
learn, and grow until you produce results that cannot be ignored.
Let's zoom out and look at society as a whole. We live in a culture that often glorifies busyness. We praise people who are constantly grinding, who have no time for rest, who sacrifice their health and relationships in the name of ambition. But busyness is not the same as productivity, and productivity is not the same as value creation. You can be busy for 80 hours a week and produce almost nothing of significance. You can be in meetings all day and make zero decisions that move the needle. You can answer emails for hours and never solve a real problem. This is what management consultant Peter Drucker called the tyranny of the urgent, where we become so consumed with urgent, low-impact tasks that we neglect the important, high-impact ones that actually matter. And we do this because urgent tasks make us feel busy. They make us feel needed. They make us feel like we are putting in effort. But when the results do not come, we blame the system, the market, the boss, or luck, when the problem was actually our own focus. So here is a challenge for you. Track your time for 1 week. Write down every hour. Then ask yourself, how much of this time actually produced tangible results that I can be proud of? If the answer is less than 20%, you are not working hard, you are just staying busy. And staying busy is a form of procrastination that you are fooling yourself with.
Now, think about the people you admire most. I want you to imagine someone you consider truly successful, maybe a founder, a leader, a creative, or even a historical figure. Now ask yourself, do you admire them because of how much they struggled or because of what they achieved? If you are honest, it is the achievement. You may respect their resilience, but that respect is built on the foundation of their success. You would not have heard of them if they had not produced remarkable results. Their struggle only became inspiring because their results were extraordinary. This is the pattern of every success story. The effort is romanticized only after the result is proven. No one writes biographies about people who tried hard and failed and did not create anything. Those stories are forgotten. So if you want your story to be remembered, you need to create results worth remembering. And that means shifting your identity from someone who tries hard to someone who makes things happen. It's a subtle but profound shift. Instead of asking, how can I show I'm working hard? Ask, what can I produce today that will move me closer to my goal? That one question changes everything.
So here is your final challenge, and I need you to take this seriously. Look at the area of your life where you have been struggling the most. It could be your career, your finances, your health, or your relationships. Now ask yourself this brutally honest question. Have I been focusing on effort or the outcome? If you have been focusing on effort, priding yourself on how many hours you put in, how many sacrifices you made, how much you endured, then you need to stop right now, because that mindset is holding you back. Starting today, shift your attention entirely to results. Ask yourself, what specific, measurable outcome do I need to produce in the next 90 days? Then work backwards. Break that outcome into small daily actions. Forget about how hard it feels. Forget about whether anyone notices your struggle. Just focus on producing. And every evening, ask yourself, did I move the needle today? If yes, great, repeat tomorrow. If no, adjust your approach. Do not seek validation for your effort. Seek feedback on your results. Let the numbers, the feedback, and the outcomes be your guide, because at the end of the day, nobody cares about your struggle, but they will celebrate your results. And more importantly, you will celebrate them too, because results create freedom, confidence, and self-respect in a way that effort alone never can. So go ahead, start producing, not for the applause, not for the recognition, for yourself. Because the only person who truly needs to know your struggle is you, and the only person who can turn that struggle into something remarkable is also you. Now, take the first step.